All right. So Chico says, you might have mentioned this when you were talking about the group practice, but is there a way I could keep a full-time job while seeing maybe 1 to 2 clients myself, but also build a group practice? So I totally did that. That's what I did from 2009. My wife and I moved back to Traverse City, and I didn't leave my full-time job until 2014. So practice of the practice from 2012 to 2014 was totally being built outside of my full-time job. I had up to I had 4 people, was it 4 people? Yeah, 4 people working for me when I left my full-time job, and then quickly got up to 11 people. Totally had a group practice. In 2013, I made the same amount working 10 hours a week as I did in my full-time job. In 2014, I made twice as much. And that's when it was time to say, if I'm doing this on 10 hours a week, what would it be if I left this job? So the way you want to do that, though, is to look at your full-time job and where do you have flexibility. For example, could you come in 1 or 2 days a week at 7:30, work through your lunch, and then leave early? So if typically you work 8 to 5, could you come in at 7:30? That would move your end time to 4:30. And then if you work through lunch, maybe 3:30. So then you could see, once a week or twice a week, you could see a 4 o'clock, a 4:45, and a 5:30. And so if you just did them back to back to back, all 3, say you did that twice a week. So you're done at 5:30 now. You got up early a couple days, you got the hustle going, but let's just do some math on that. So say Chico did 6 sessions a week times 125 a session times 48 weeks a year. That's an extra $36,000 before you pay rent or marketing. So even if we take off, let's take off 35% so that it covers taxes and your rent, things like that. That's still an extra 23 grand a year, almost 2 grand a month extra. Like, what would you do with 2 grand a month extra? I mean, you could do that home renovation project. You could put that money back into the practice. You could rent a bigger place and scale. There's so much you could do if you even just saw 1 or 2 clients yourself and then grew a group practice. And so I would say, yes, definitely do that. You can sublet a place and kind of grow as you grow, or you can just rent one small place that you get really efficient on how you rent it out. One thing around renting a space is that oftentimes people think, well, for a group practice, I need 3 or 4 offices. I had a single office suite, and I had 4 people working out of there. If you figure from 7 a.m. to probably 8 p.m., you can get people in there every day. That's 13 hours, and that's not even on doing 45-minute sessions. So you probably could fit in 14 or 15 sessions a day if you really packed them in, and nobody would really do that. But even if you did 10 sessions a day, 6 days a week, and then on Sunday maybe you have 5. I mean, that's 65 sessions. You could have 4 or 5 people in one office easily if you were good with the schedules.